This is what they are playing for. One of the more coveted championships in amateur golf, the Lee Trevino Trophy, named after the longtime El Pasoan and six-time major winner. It's the 2017 Endeavor Sun Bowl Classic. You don't gain entry to this tournament by winning the lottery. Golfers earn their invitation with proven performance. To receive entry, a golfer must have been a collegiate All-American the previous season. For 2017, that meant 29 players in the field who will try to join the ranks of previous champions like Tiger Woods, David Duval, and Davis Love III. In fact, Endeavor Sun Bowl Classic alumni have won more than 50 major championships and earned almost $2 billion in professional golf. So, play away, please. The format calls for 54 holes of stroke play on the opening day and then an 18-hole conclusion. Brad Dalkey from Oklahoma is looking for a fast start. And there it is, a chip-in birdie for the Boomer Sooner on the par 4 fourth. He shoots an opening round 6 under 65 at the par 71 El Paso Country Club course. That's good enough to share the first round lead. There must be some magic at that fourth hole. U.S. amateur runner-up Doug Gim from out of the bunker. That gets the Texas Longhorn to 2 under par through the first 4 holes. And how about 3 for 3? Ben Griffin from North Carolina at the fourth. Well, I guess enough is enough. A fine play, but no hole out. Doc Redman is the U.S. amateur champion. He's also a Tar Heel and would open with a 1 under 70. Hurley Long is from Mannheim, Germany by way of Texas Tech. This for birdie on the 18th. Hurley with an opening round 65 that featured a whopping 8 birdies to share the first round lead with Dalkey. The Red Raider would lead the field for the week, playing the par 4s in 13 under par. Will Gordon of Vanderbilt is playing his second shot into the 18th. I'd say the Commodore has some smooth sailing. He would have a pair of eagles in the championship and shoot 66 in the opening round to finish just 1 off the lead. Remember though, it's a 36-hole opening day, so on to the second round. Griffin opened with a 68 and has some magic working in the afternoon.
It was just uphill. I played it about 2 balls outside right. It's just one of those putts. You just got to hit and get it there and it'll go in. If you can get it on that right line, and I was able to.
That's a birdie at the par 5 13th. He would shoot 64 in the afternoon and be just 1 shot off the lead.
Some conditions I thought were pretty easy today. Not a lot of wind, so we were really able to attack out there, a lot of the guys, and I felt like the scores were going to be pretty low going into the day, and they ended up being so.
Judging by the scores, it seems the greens were really receptive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of wedges out there, a lot of short par 4s, so guys are taking advantage of hitting their driver well and having between 70 and 100 yards in the most par 4s, and that allows you to really attack the pins and stick it close.
Redman is looking to get hot with that putter. The birdie won't go on the 18th, and the U.S. amateur champion settles for another 1 under 70 and a tie for 12th after 2 rounds. Christopher Ventura is from Norway and plays for Oklahoma State. Well, ride 'em, cowboy. A birdie on the 18th for the Norwegian. He would finish the tournament tied for 15th at 2 under par. Gordon began his second round with a bogey at the first and now trying to save par at the 18th. Well, a bogey to start and a bogey to end the second round, but in between, he found a half dozen birdies and an eagle to shoot 66. He stands at 10 under par.
Played solid overall, chipped it really well, and drove it really well, so kind of set me up for a good day. I holed out twice today on par 4, so that was a big boost.
Tell me about the eagle at 8.
Yeah, I had an eagle on 8 from 100 yards, just pretty standard, like 56 degree. Took one hop, spun back in the hole, and then I holed out on 7 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for us. Like the greens are gonna be soft again probably in the morning, and we're gonna have a fun finish tomorrow.
Gim missed the green at the 18th. Does he have another hole out in him? That now becomes a par putt to shoot 64. An 8 birdie, 1 bogey second round has him tied for the first day lead at 11 under par for 36 holes. Who was capable of tying Gim on the scorecard? How about Hurley Long? This is approach into the 18th. The Red Raider stood 11 under with a chance to take the outright lead. So it will be a second round score of 66 to back up his opening round 65, and a tie for the lead for Hurley Long with Doug Gim.
I told myself to stay patient out there. I knew I was going to have a lot of opportunities. There's some short holes out here. Knew I'd been putting well, and I didn't get off to a great start ball striking wise, but I did what I wanted to, and some putts dropped, and I kind of had momentum all day, and I bogeyed the first hole of the second round, but I knew that wasn't a game plan changer, so I kind of stuck to what I was doing, and it worked out for me. I grew up in Germany, so my dad's a pro, got introduced to the game really early, and yeah, loved it ever since, really.
What are you expecting out of the final round?
Same game plan, really. Stay patient, give myself looks, see what happens from there. I think a low one's out there, but you know, I want to avoid the mistakes and kind of give myself opportunities. That's really the game plan.
Just a breath of wind for the final round, good scoring conditions, and it would be Doug Gim who would have the hot start in that final round. He parred the first, then picked up birdies at 2 and 3, this for 3 in a row. Half a victory lap and into the cup, 3 under after 4 and 14 under for the Classic.
I was just trying to give it a chance, but not be too frisky with it, because it's the type of putt that, you know, if it catches the edge of the hole and then it has some speed, then it's going to gather and maybe go 4 or 5 feet by. So I just tried to give it a good chance. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a putt I was trying to make, but, you know, I caught the hole and got enough of it, and then it finally went in. And, you know, I think just that start helped me kind of ease everything and you know, stick to my game plan and feel comfortable.
Hurley Long struggling to keep pace. He's also trying to birdie the fourth. No, sir. Long would par the first 6 holes to fall out of the lead. Gim parred the 5th, but back to work at the 6th with this approach. Now for the birdie conversion to go 4 under on the round and 15 under for the week. Well, who can challenge the Longhorn? Up ahead, Will Gordon at the 8th for birdie. Well, I don't blame him for being a little frustrated. It seems the golf gods are only shining on Gim in this final round. But the U.S. Amateur semifinalist did stumble with a bogey at 7, tries to rally with this wedge into the short 8th. Gim to go to 16 under par. Well now, maybe that's an opening for the rest of the field. Long has been hitting his irons fine. This another nice approach into the green at the 8th. He had made a long birdie on 7, this for back-to-back birdies and 13 under. We just may yet have some suspense. With 10 holes remaining, Long now 1 off the lead. The 9th is a 550-yard par 5 reachable in 2, and Long has an eagle putt. Frustrating to leave that one short, but it's a 2-putt birdie for 3 birdies in a row and 14 under par. Gim had stuffed his approach to a couple feet for eagle. Nothing like a 3 on a par 5 to regain the momentum for Doug Gim. He turns in 31. He's 16 under par to lead by 2, headed to the inward 9.
I hit a good solid shot and I look up there and I'm like, okay, that's gonna be on the green, and I get up there and it's about 1.5 feet, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, that definitely helps. And just the fact that Hurley was on the green putting for eagle, I knew he was gonna make birdie. And my whole goal was just to, top his with another birdie, and to come out with 3 was just a huge bonus.
Both Gim and Long parred the 10th, but the sexy German import has a birdie putt on 11. He's now just 1 shot off the lead. We haven't heard much from Ben Griffin, but this birdie putt on 11 would take him to 4 under on the day and 14 under for the week. Unfortunately, Griffin would play the rest of the round 1 over par and finish in a tie for 3rd with Vanderbilt's Will Gordon. After pars at the 12th, there would be a change on the leaderboard at the par 5 13th. Gim drove into the hazard and now has this putt for a par. That's a huge opening for Hurley. A birdie here would take him to 16 under par and the outright lead. That, my friends, is called a Mongolian reversal. From 1 behind to 1 ahead with 5 holes remaining for the Red Raider.
Hit a pretty poor second shot, but hit a really, really nice wedge under a tree and rolled up there about 15 feet and made it. I mean, Doug got really unlucky. Hit a nice iron shot and it just rolled out into the rocks, and he had to take a drop and then lipped out his putt. So, yeah, that was fortunate on my behalf.
Gim has been tested in USGA events, and that experience showed with this approach into the 14th. Knocking down the flagstick. The putt to tie for the lead. Now that's the way to answer.
Just told myself to stay patient, never out of it. Learned that with Doc at the USAM, and hit a really good drive, which was a big turning point, and obviously hit a good wedge to a foot, and that kind of leveled out.
Gim had regained the momentum. He almost drove the 15th green and has an eagle chip. Long had parred the 14th, but he also has an eagle chip at 15. A pair of birdie putts. Gim goes first. The number is 17 under par. Can Long answer? We are still tied at 17 under par, now 3 holes remaining. A tough hole location at the par 4 16th, with Long the first to play into the green. Flagstick is cut right in the middle of a slope. You have to control the spin on the golf ball. It will be a challenging 2-putt par from there. That hole location has caused problems. Both players left themselves with difficult par putts. Long would go first. That means Gim can take the lead if he can make his par putt. It's a 1-shot lead for the Texan with 2 holes to play.
I was a little behind a tree, so I had to hit a high shot, and I knew as much as the ball was spinning out here, I didn't have a chance. I tried to land it on the back. It landed there, and it just spun back 50 feet. So I did the smart thing. I could have sliced it around the tree, but I thought that was too risky. I thought I would have a pretty easy putt from down there, just make it par, but it wasn't easy, so I whacked it about 7-8 feet by and then just overread the next one. You know, nothing you can really do there, just tough situation.
That 16th hole may have been the tipping point of the Classic. Gim trying to extend the lead with his approach into the 17th. That is going to be a birdie for 18 under par. Hurley Long hit a bad drive, missed the green, and has this chip for birdie. A nice chip, but that would lead to par. Make it a 2-shot lead with 1 hole to play for the Longhorn. Gim has had his share of frustration at both the Pub Links and in the U.S. Amateur, but not at the Endeavor Sun Bowl Classic. His approach into the 18th is just fine. Gim needs only a 2-putt par for the win. And that's a winner. A 2-shot win over Hurley Long at 18 under par for 54 holes for Doug Gim at the Endeavor Sun Bowl Classic.
What an exciting tournament. Our winner tied the tournament record at 18 under par. And so a great effort there. And we're excited to recognize Doug Gim from Arlington Heights, Illinois as our champion. He is the Doug is the second champion that we've had here at the tournament from the University of Texas, and the first one in the last 42 years. So in this, as I mentioned, this is Doug's second trip to El Paso, and we're excited to present to him the Lee Trevino Trophy.
Sorry, I didn't have anything prepared, but I just want to say thank you to everybody here. I mean, I wasn't able to make the trip last year. It was very sad to come back here. You guys treat us so well. Thank you to everybody at El Paso